Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed our video depicting our bike hike we had this past October. So joining me now are two guys named Ben, and they are both into biking. It's a lot of B's, guys. So Ben Krumenauer is the Bicycle Pedestrian Coordinator for East Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission, which is also a huge, big mouthful. And Ben Rennert is the owner of Winnebago Bicycle in downtown Oshkosh. Thanks, Ben and Ben, for being here today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
So, Ben K., we're going to start with you. Since you were featured in the bike hike video, people are familiar with your face. What's your position at East Central, and kind of what does that all entail?
Great. Well, as Bike and Ped Coordinator for the East Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission, my primary responsibilities are making the roads safer for bikes and pedestrians. In addition to that, we also focus a lot on pedestrian activities and advocate for larger developments in the area.
So, bike hike was the video we just saw. It was a little warmer outside. That doesn't mean you couldn't take your bike out nowadays in the colder weather, but if we're talking a little bit more about year-round biking, which is a possibility in Wisconsin, what exactly does cold weather biking season mean, and those kinds of things?
Well, it sounds exactly like it is. Cold weather biking is really the time from November to April of the following year. So it's really during the cold winter times of this state.
And then so half the year is basically cold weather biking. Some people could potentially argue longer than half the season or half the year. What are some things that riders can do to be safe if they're biking out when the weather isn't the best?
Well, winter biking does present its own challenges. As you're aware, I mean, there's ice and snow and everything. But there's a lot that can be done to make it safer. Some things that are really easy is just be mindful of your surroundings. Be alert that there is snow and there's ice out there. And that means it has a lot of different challenges. So I really encourage riders to take it slow, take their time, plan more time to get to a location, because it does take time to get there. And then just know that it's going to take you longer to stop, and be mindful of all the other traffic in the area. Automobiles have the same troubles that bikers do in the wintertime. It's icy, and they can't always stop when they need to.
So, and you may bring up a good point that bicyclists have the same challenges that motor vehicle drivers have, and that's always a good reminder, is that bicycles are considered motor vehicles and bicyclists are considered drivers of those vehicles. That's a great point to remember. You mentioned that ice and snow-covered roadways kind of present a challenge to a bicyclist. So what could you expand a little bit on the measures that a city like Oshkosh or maybe the town of Algoma and potentially any of those residents can do to make the roads safer during these winter months?
Well, there's actually two pieces to that. One is the municipality itself. You know, we do live in a cold weather environment, so we have that snow and winter through much of the year. What residents can do is the same thing a municipality should do. Really focus on keeping the roads clean. We encourage residents to keep their sidewalks nice and clean, salt those ramps and the aprons, because those are often times where bikers transition from a roadway to a sidewalk. In addition to that, a municipality should really focus on keeping their streets as clean as possible and being mindful of where the biker needs to go. You know, it's state and local laws. The majority of municipalities state that a bike should be as close to the curb as possible. It presents its own challenges during the winter, though. As you're going down these roads, you see that the ice isn't off the road. It sits at the curb. That means the biker is closer into the drive lanes, presenting more problems. So if the municipality can really work hard to keep those bike lanes clear, it really makes it a better place to be.
So would you encourage a resident or a bicyclist to, you know, if they notice a bunch of roads or their route that they take maybe not getting cleaned off as well, what could you suggest for that person to do?
I would say the biggest thing they can do is just be aware of those situations. It is tough sometimes for municipality to keep the roads 100% clean, but if they work together, be mindful of those. And sometimes it's best for a biker to go on those other roads that are a little more clear, or a municipality to maybe get that phone call from that concerned bicyclist and say, hey, this is a concerning area. When you have a chance, let's get that cleaned up. And
it's all about safety, ultimately, right? We want to make sure everyone that's out there using those roadways is as safe as possible.
That's right. That's why the folks at East Central, including myself, are really promoting the Complete Streets policy. It's a policy of looking at a roadway and acknowledging that it's more than just an automobile. And it's more than a bike. It's everything. And by doing that, we can focus on all the uses of the roadway and make it safer for mass transit, automobiles, and the winter bike rider.
Awesome. So speaking of the winter bike rider, Ben is a seasoned winter bike rider, I'm guessing here. So can you talk a little bit more about Winnebago Bicycle and your personal thoughts or experiences on winter bike riding?
Yeah, definitely. At Winnebago Bicycle, we work very hard to promote cycling culture and getting people set up with the bike and the gear that they need for the type of riding that they're looking to do is only part of what we're looking to accomplish at the store. Helping at the community events and assisting or taking the lead on cycling projects is something that we take a lot of pride in. As for winter biking, I'm a huge fan. I ride year-round for both enjoyment and transportation. With fewer cyclists out on the road, vehicles are less likely to have their eye out for you, but we're trying to change that.
Cool. So, as an owner of a bike shop in Wisconsin, you probably have some good ideas on some things you could recommend for gear, winter bike riding gear.
Definitely.
So, can you explain a little bit about that? And I think we'll have a picture for hand
Okay,
things.
sure. Yeah, the first thing that's really important to think about is proper layering with your clothing. You can always take an article of clothing off, but it's always hard to add stuff. If you have one very thick piece of, say, a thick jacket on, and you're cold or too hot, you're going to be stuck. If you're layering, you're able to add or take a little bit off. As for hands and feet, you want to have those covered as well. Riding in winter, usually you're going to see some slush, you're going to see snow, of course, and cold temperatures. So there's certain different types of gloves that you're going to be able to choose from, and everyone's a little different. For example, my hands tend to get rather chilly, so I usually ride with a mitten when temperatures get below 15 degrees Fahrenheit or so. Other options you're going to have are almost like a lobster shaped kind of glove, and what that allows for is fingers are going to be more open for braking, so are able to hold onto the handlebar, but at the same time grab the brake and come to a stop a little easier.
Well, it all kind of goes with the phrase, there's no bad weather, there's just poor clothing choices. So,
exactly.
So if someone was interested in doing some winter biking, they could come into your shop and kind of explain a little bit about what they are looking to do, and you guys could help them out.
Yes.
Awesome. So what are a few other things real quick that you might need as far as gear for your bike if you're going to ride in the winter?
Yeah. When you get all set up for yourself, you do need some proper gear for riding in the winter for your bike. Usually things that we recommend right away are going to be a studded tire for your bike. Typically we'll start with a front tire just to have those studs to help give a little bit more traction, a little more bite on icy roads. And usually the studs really come to play when you're making a corner. On top of that, fenders on the bike can help a great deal. Not only are they going to keep you dry, they'll in the long run keep you warm then too. In temperatures below 40 degrees, once you start to get wet, that will get you pretty cold very quick.
And that's pretty uncomfortable. So
Yeah, and on top of that, another thing in regards to safety while riding in winter, we have a lot less daylight, so a very good light set is recommended front and rear.
Awesome. So real quick, those bikes with the big tires, what's up with those?
They're called fat bikes, and those are
That's the
meant.
official name.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And they're meant for riding through snow or sand, and during this time of year, of course, we have plenty of snow, and the fat tire works kind of like a snowshoe. That idea.
Awesome. So they're not like I'm just trying to be awesome and cool like my bike gang. Like there's a real use for those.
There's a very good purpose for them. Yes.
Awesome. Great. So if you're interested, again, check out Ben's shop down in downtown Oshkosh, Winnebago Bicycle. They have some really great folks there to help you out with stuff. Maybe check out some trails. There's a new one over by Aurora.
Yeah. We just got done putting in about a mile loop right now out at Aurora Hospital. It's called Aurora Alley, the trail name is. And right now we're going to have it groomed for winter riding, so it'll be intended for that fat bike.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
people can check it out.
Yeah.
Excited.
If you have any
you
questions,
heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Stop down to the store or check our website out, and under our ride maps page, we have a little more info on that.
Awesome. Well, all right. So I hope we've inspired a few folks to get out there and be adventurous this winter with some bicycle riding. Thank you guys both for being here today.
Thank you.
If anyone has any questions, they can get a hold of East Central or they can stop into the bike shop. So that about wraps things up for this edition of Rethink. Don't forget, you can always connect with Rethink on our Facebook page, facebook.com/RethinkWinnebago, on Twitter @RethinkWinnebag, no O at the end, on our blog or on our website, and all of those links are at rethinkwinnebago.org. So until next time, let's keep on creating a community that makes the healthy choice the easy choice.